happy May 1st. When we lived in Germany, I can remember May Day was a big deal. On May 1st, there were maypoles and they had celebrations and all kinds of things. It was really cool to see. I love seeing other cultures and what they do, but they celebrated May 1st. It was a big deal. And, and when I say maypole, they had the pole that had the ribbons and they danced around them and they had a whole thing. It was pretty cool. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'm just going to kind of move around a little bit, but in Galatians 5, starting at chapter 13, or verse 13, it says, "For you have been called to live in freedom, not freedom to satisfy your sinful nature, but freedom to serve one another. For the whole law can be summed up in this one command, love your neighbor as yourself. But if instead of showing love among yourselves, you are always biting and devouring one another, watch out. Beware of destroying one another." So many times we don't live in that freedom. We don't live in the freedom to serve each other. In the society that we live in today, I'll do this for you if you do this for me, or I'll do that if only I can get the glory for it, or I'll go do that so people can see me. I'll do that only if I can be seen, or if my name gets put in the paper, or whatever it may be. And that is not what he is trying to teach us. It's very important that we understand what he has for us. It's very important that we understand that we are to live in freedom, that we are to live to serve others. Jesus came as a servant, not as a sorry, I have to look on my phone for something real quick. Not as to say, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. He didn't do that. And Jesus did a lot of amazing things when he walked this earth. And I think just the small part that we know about is just a small part. Just a small part of what we know about. But he lived to serve. And that's what he left that example for us, is to live to serve. My computer just blinked out. I'm hoping it's working. It still says it's streaming. If you go on down into Galatians chapter 6, and the title in my study Bible says, we reap what we sow. This lesson was a lesson that I taught teen girls for a long, long time, and this was one of my hardest lessons to get them to understand. The concept is hard. I'm at that age to understand that your words, your actions have consequences, and what you reap into somebody, what you sow into somebody else is what you're going to reap out of that situation as well. Dear brothers and sisters, if another Christian is overcome by sin, you who are godly should gently and humbly help that person back into the right path, and be careful not to fall into the same temptation yourself. We talked about that yesterday. Don't get caught up in the same sin. Don't be like, if can't beat them, join them. Don't do that. Share each other's troubles and problems, and in this way obey the law of Christ. So that means you can go to another brother and sister and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this. Hey, I'm really, this happened and I don't get it. I don't understand why this is going on. I don't understand why, I don't get it. Help me to see if I'm seeing something wrong. If you think you are too important to help someone in need, you are only fooling yourself. You're really a nobody. So if you think that you are too good to serve other people, you're fooling yourself. Be sure you do what you should, for then you will enjoy the personal satisfaction of having done your work well, and you won't need to compare yourself to anyone else, for we are each responsible for our own conduct. So if you do your job and you do it well, but somebody else is coming at you because they don't like what you're doing, or they don't like what you said, or they don't like that, but if you're doing your job and you're doing what God has asked you to do and you're doing it well, have that satisfaction and know that you've done what the Lord has asked you to do. Those who are taught the Word of God should help their teachers by paying them. Don't be misled. Remember that you can't ignore God and get away with it. You will reap what you sow. Those who live only to satisfy their own sinful desires will harvest the consequences of decay and death. But those who live to please the Spirit will harvest everlasting life from the Spirit So don't get tired of doing what is good, and sometimes it's very difficult to do. I saw someone today I hadn't seen in a really long time. And she said, "So what are you doing now?" And I told her, I'm the secretary out at Crossroads. I'm the women's minister. And she said, "Oh, that's you. I bet you love that." And I said, "To be honest, it's the best and the worst job I have ever had. It is the best job, but there's also part of it is the worst job. But I also know in saying that, if I'm obedient to what the Lord has told me to do and who he has told me to be, then I don't have to get discouraged. So don't get tired of doing what is good. Don't get discouraged and give up, for we will reap a harvest of blessing at the appropriate time." At the appropriate time. When the Lord says, we will reap that harvest. Wherever we have the opportunity, we should do good to everyone, especially our Christian brothers and sisters. And having worked in the ministry for the last 17 years, the most negativity that I've received have come from my Christian brothers and sisters, and I hate to say that. Because we shouldn't be like that with each other. We should love one another, encourage one another. If we have a problem with one another, yes, we need to go to that person and say, "Hey, what's going on? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this?" Ministry has been difficult, but it's also been so rewarding. Absolutely rewarding. I love it. I am thankful that God called me to Crossroads Community Church so many years ago. And it's been a lot of years because I gauge it by how old my grandson is. He's 20, and he was a baby when we started coming to church here. So I know, I have, without a shadow of a doubt, God took me from a place of being very hurt, very church hurt, because I was in the ministry previous to this. I was a teacher for 15 years. I was in the ministry before. Went to Falls Creek, went to Camp Leela, did all of those things. And church hurt. People in church hurt. It's not really the church that hurts you, it's the people in the church that hurt you. And it does get discouraging. But I can't give up. I can't get tired of doing what is good. I can't get tired of doing what God has asked me to do. I can't be discouraged, because I know when I get like that and I get snippy right back, or I'm reaping what I'm gonna reap that, because that's what I'm sowing. What are you sowing into situation? What are you sowing into your work family? What are you sowing into your family? What are you sowing into your social family? Whatever it may be, what are you sowing into that? Because what you sow, you will reap. If you're sowing negativity, if you're sowing chaos, if you're sowing love, if you're sowing kindness, goodness, gentleness, self-control, all the fruits of the Spirit, if you're sowing those things, that's what you're going to reap. And we will go through hard times. We will have struggles. Even when we're sowing good, we will have troubles. Because the enemy is like, "Oh, I can't let them have that. I can't let, no, we got to fight that. I don't want them to receive that blessing. Because if they receive that blessing, then that's going to change the whole dynamic. And then I'm not going to be able to do what I need to do with them." So we have to be very careful. And we have to be very mindful. We have to be, we talked about it yesterday, I believe it was yesterday. We have to be still sometimes and hear the Spirit of the Lord and do what he's asked us to do. Some days that's difficult. Other days it's easy to just walk through it. And like on Wednesday nights, you never know what's going to happen at youth. You never know. Like this Wednesday, I had the little boy lost his tooth and brought it to me blood, and I was like, oh, I'm made to be a nurse. I was not made to be a nurse. My sister had that calling, and I did not. I do not. I've had to do a lot of nursing in my life, having to take care of my parents, my mom, and all of that, but I did it, but it wasn't easy. I will always say teaching and nursing and police work, it's all a calling. It is all a calling. The Lord calls us into those things. And I know, I watch my daughter, who is a second grade teacher at Kiefer. I watch her, and I could not be more proud of her. Could not be more proud of who she is and who she's become and what kind of teacher she is. She shows up for her students. She loves them. She loves them well. And I'm really, really proud of that. But that doesn't come with frustration. That doesn't come without frustration, because I do get to see the other side of it when she's upset and touched out and all of that. But again, she's sowing into those children. And that's what the Lord is just asking us to sow into the circle of influence that we have. Sow in the goodness, the love, the peace, the kindness, the joy, all of the gifts of the Spirit. My ears are ringing. All of the gifts of the Spirit. Just sow those things in, and you're going to reap those things back. We need to be careful of what we're sowing, what we're reaping. We really need to be careful, because the enemy can take that and just run with it. And the next thing we know, we're a tool for the enemy and not a tool for Jesus. So we've got to be careful. Don't get discouraged and give up, for we will reap a harvest of blessing at the appropriate time. Don't get discouraged. I know it's discouraging a lot of days when you look in your refrigerator, there's not a lot of food there. You look in your bank account, there's not a lot of money there. You look at your schedule, and you've got something every single day. Continue to reap, or continue to sow goodness, kindness, love, patience, peace, all of those things, and that's what you will reap back. I hope you guys have a great weekend. Here we are, beginning of a new month, almost halfway through a year already. They say time flies as you get older, and I didn't realize how fast that time was going to fly, because boy, it sure does. And life is so short. Life is so short. It's just a vapor. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday.